I grew up in Paris, France. I was lucky to learn 3 languages from a very young age. I spoke French, Spanish, and English, which were spoken in the home and with a lot of my family's friendships and relatives. After I finished high school, I decided to go and study art history. But I wanted to get into the workforce right away, and even though I didn't need to, I started interning at an art gallery doing my studies. And I loved meeting with people, and I loved the interaction with collectors and buyers and sellers, and it wasn't so much the selling that I liked. I liked the art, of course, and I liked finding the right piece for the right person and filling the needs of the seller and the buyer and trying to help them make this compromise. That was really exciting for me. It's like, wow, he got the painting he wanted and he sold it at the price he wanted and he's happy to know it's going to be in that person's home. That was kind of exciting for me. It was really that, connecting with the people. I got married after I finished my degree, and my husband and I had 3 children. In 1984, we moved to New York, and I continued working. I started actually working as an art dealer for myself as a private dealer in New York while I was raising my children. Unfortunately, in 1989, my husband and I decided to separate and get a divorce. And that, of course, was a very traumatic time. Our children were young teenagers. One actually wasn't a teenager yet. And originally, we started by hiring each a lawyer. But both of us felt very uncomfortable with the idea of suing each other for divorce. And even though we were obviously not happy with each other, it was still, he's the father of my children, I'm the mother of his children, and we felt that this process would be too difficult and too adversarial. And so someone suggested that we hire one person that could sit with both of us. And we found this gentleman who was a friend of the family. He was actually a lawyer. And we asked him if he would be willing to do this. So over the course of a long weekend, we sat with him on and off for 3 days during the Thanksgiving weekend, I remember. And we worked on an agreement, and we came up with an agreement. And the agreement, of course, covered all the bases. It covered that we were going to have joint custody of our children. It covered how we were going to share time with our children. It covered how we were going to, how money was going to be allocated for the children. It covered where we were going to live and how we were going to divide our property. It covered everything. We moved on with the process and got a divorce. The children continued with school, and when my 3rd child was ready to go off to college, I decided I wanted to pursue a new career. And thinking about it, I kept thinking, well, I went back to my youth, what would I do? I wasn't an art dealer. And of course I wanted to work with people, which was what I always liked. And I kept thinking, well, maybe marriage counseling or marriage therapy or therapy. And then the idea of conflict resolution came up and mediation. And I started exploring that. And as soon as I took my first course, I absolutely loved it. And I started taking course after course and did a practicum. And then I started volunteering in Westchester at the Cluster Center of Westchester. And I did many hours, like 250 hours of volunteer mediation, working with families in custody and visitation. That's really what I wanted to do, work with families. I continued training and taking courses, and I'm still actually doing continuing education. I'm always trying to keep informed about what's going on in the law, and I started my private practice, and I started seeing clients for divorce. And I have to say that my personal experience has really helped me understand what people are going through and feel a lot of what they feel. And that added to my training and my hours of work has really enriched my life, and I feel very lucky that I can help people while they're going through this terrible time in their lives, and that I can bring, hopefully, some peace within their turmoil and help them get to a better place. They never think they're going to get to a better place when they're in mediation, but I try and appease them and tell them that they will see as things move on and as the agreement gets done, that they'll be able to put it behind them at some point and move on to a new life. That's what I've experienced, and I hope that they will experience it too.